I'm going to continue working on this alien isolation scene here for Blender Challenge 11 survival game. I've just gone ahead and I've made a couple of changes, and I'll show you what I've done. I just changed the shape of this thing here where the alien can get down through here. Just basic modeling, changing the shape of that. And I took these cushion structures and copied them over to the other side. All right, and we'll do something here in a minute. And what I've also done is I just extended the floor down. I just pulled it down a little bit so I can make a little section with this grating. And I copied these pipes that were up on the ceiling. I just copied them down. All right, and I may do some other work under there. And then the other thing that I did is I created this stuff. Now, you'll notice these lines sticking up because these are instanced so that I could reduce the poly count. And I'll show you that here. So I'm up at 77,000. And I'll show you how I made that. But once I made that, I made it a collection instance, and I just copied it over so it wouldn't increase. So for example, if you see I'm 77,000, if I take this one, Shift D, and I copy it, that increases my poly count. But if I take this and I Shift A, collection instance, and I find it, if I can, floor plan panel, I guess, you see I've got another one here, and my polys haven't increased. All right, so and then if I make any changes to this one, it's reflected in the others. Okay, and I'll show you how I made that. It's very simple. That's just the design that I wanted. So if I bring in a plane, and I'll just move it down over here and just work on that. We just focus on that. Okay, so I wanted that as my central plane coming down the middle. I just subdivided it a few times, as many times as I wanted. So let's say you go for 10 or something like that. Okay, so I got it selected. Go to spacebar, poke faces. Okay, so now I have a bunch of tries. Hit the spacebar and go tries to quads. Did that. Then what I did is I hit 3 for face selection, and I hit I twice. Bring them in. Something like that. And then I just deleted the faces, and I had that. All right. And then I put on solidify. Get this as thick as you wanted. And then you can decide if you want to put a bevel on it as well. Maybe was one bevel. You're not going to see it up close or anything. You could try smooth, shade smooth. And that could be the thing right there. Now, so that increased it by 77 to 89. So what's that? 12,000 or something. If I just copy this, and place it like that, I jump up quite a bit. But if I'll just make this a new collection. And I have to come back here. And I'll just call this a grid test. Okay, if I do that, I'll set the origin of geometry and bring my 3D cursor there. So if I now go, so I'm at 89, all right, Shift A, collection interests, grid test, then go somewhere else. Yeah, I went somewhere else. So I can just go origin of 3D cursor, and then geometry to origin, and it's there. So I stay at 89. Let's take this one. If I move it, it moves the other one as well. But then lose that. So I'll set the origin of geometry. So I can copy that again. I can copy that again. And I don't go up in polys. Okay, so that's how I did that. Alright, so I did that, and then I just put some pieces on here so it looks like it's supported somehow, and some where the, let's hide that. where they would join, where there would be a little bit of a gap. Let's see, I'll put another piece in there. Okay, and then I just got rid of one of them, and I created a plane, and I just extruded a little piece and cut out a little piece like that, so it looked like a little panel. And then I could do some work on that in Substance Painter. Maybe I'll put some bolts along here, we'll see. But that's where I'm at so far. And what I want to do now is I want to put some well, I'm going to put some lockers along here, like an alien isolation house, so Amanda or Ripley could hide from the alien. And I'm going to do some overhead compartments here. The other thing I'll just mention quickly is I made what may end up being my door, or sort of a mock door. I was getting tired of looking at that opening, and all I did was I created a plane, and then I just used, I think, probably the knife tool, and I cut, and I got that. I could show you that sometime. I'm not sure if that'll stay or not. That's not the exact design, but I just wanted something back there. So in the meantime, I'm going to come up here. I don't think I can select that. It's a mirror, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. So let's see. Let's bring in a cube here. I'm going to start working on this here. Okay, so let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in an edge to here. I'm going to take this edge, I'm going to pull it back. And I'll just focus on that again in a minute. So scale this into Y. Okay, let's focus just on that thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the outer edges here and Control B. Give it a nice bunch of segments. 5 ought to be enough. I just want to have an odd number, so I got one right in the middle there. That was like the original edge. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab all of these ones now. Control B, I'll do the same thing. So it's kind of smooth, shade smooth on that. Okay, and then come down here. Don't worry about the shading right now. And bring an edge loop down there. I'll bring another one and make like a little latch for opening thing. Put an edge loop there and pull it. Roll my mouse back to 0. Say, okay, this right here, 3 for face selection. Select that face. That's where I'm going to put my handle. I'm going to just extrude it in like that. Okay, now I'm going to come over. I'm going to put on a bevel. I'll go for 3, I think. 0.02. That's kind of just to tighten it up. Now, because I got a bevel on, I'll put weighted normal and auto smooth. That should almost fix it up. But you see that banding there, so I'll go back to my bevel. For limit method, I'll choose angle, and that'll be okay for what I need to do. I'm going to come in here, and in number 2 edge selection, just select that edge all the way around. It's a little bit hard to see that I've got it selected, but I should. And Control B. No, I don't have it right, so what I'll do is I'll get rid of that bevel so you can see I had that. So I just want this edge, and this edge, and this one, and this one. I'm going to, no, and this one. Turn the bevel back on. Control B, I'm going to put a few segments in there, round it off a little bit. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to select that face, number 3, and I'm going to switch to normal. So my axes point in the direction of my object. Shift D, I'm going to pull it out a little bit, and I'm going to hit S to scale. I'll scale it in the Y. I'm going to pull it out a little bit more. And then I'm just going to extrude it back into the body. Hit with that back face selected, exit faces, and And that is probably what I'm going to go for. It's debatable if I want to select this face. Let's try this in Control B and just round that, but I might end up losing some of my bevel. I think I'm okay. Let's see if I don't do that. Well, we could try beveling all of this as well. Where am I? We just have to get all of it. All of that top edge. Just watch your bevel here. Although I beveled it pretty much by hand, so it should be okay. I don't know if that helped me at all, but okay. So that's my main. Let's go back to global. Scale in the watch. My main compartment there. And then what I was thinking I would do is I'll put on an array. Let's Control A, rotation and scale. We're going to do this in the Y. Just up the count a bit. Let's look at this. Look, I guess we could bring stuff back and start to get a sense of what this is like. Let's bring it up here. Okay, and what I was thinking, I'll show you. Let's maybe get the number that I want first of all. I'll have it there. Let's go for, leave a little space to do something on the wall down there. I think that's good enough. So what I got? 6. Okay. Let's focus on that now. I want to put some sort of scaffolding type. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to select that edge. Shift D and pull it out a bit. P, I'm going to break it out. I'm going to turn off all the modifiers or delete all the modifiers on that. And in the vertex selection, select that last one, and I'm going to extrude it back. And I think I will take this last one as well, and I will extrude it back as well, so that these sort of go into the wall above and below. Okay, so I've got that, and then I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm going to give this some width, so that's what I've got there. Let's recalculate my polys and put on solidify. I think I'll come out and give it some even thickness here. Now I'll slide this back in, get the approximate position. I'm doing some adjustment on that in a bit. Let's see, let's go in and scale this in a Y a little bit more. We'll sort of cover up the gaps a little bit. Okay, so I've got that, and I think I'm okay with that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and then I'm going to Shift D and duplicate it down to the end here. And then I was thinking I would, what do I do? Decide what I want to do here. I think what I'll do is I'll select those faces and I'll E and scale in the Y. I'll pull them close. I'm going to delete the faces now and select just the edges and Control E, bridge edge loops. I've got merge on, and I'm going to dissolve that edge. I can adjust all that stuff in a bit. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to sort of copy that along with those. So I'm going to come in here and slice and dice this thing here. Let's see. Let's say if I Shift D this and I bring it down to here, And then I'm gonna let's join these, and let's just repeat this stuff again. It'll take a little bit to do this. Don't need that. All right. I want those. Those. E and scale Y, bring them close. Doesn't really have to be close. Delete the faces. And I should be able to bridge edge loops there. I'll dissolve that edge. Let's see how she's shaping up. I can then go back in and I can move this piece if I want. So I should be able to, let's just copy this whole thing down. And what? Okay, okay, we'll have this, we'll just do this one here. Let's join those. There is probably an easier way to do this. I just happen to be doing it this way. It's late at night and my brain may not be functioning as well as it should. But E scale Y, delete faces, select vertices or edges, bridge edge loops, dissolve edges. Now we'll come out here and I will get rid of I want to be careful here. I don't want to get rid of vertices, and then I probably will have to close that up. Yeah, okay. I'll go to edge selection and I'll just no. Oops, not that one. Can I just no? It doesn't know what I want to do yet. Does it know what I want to do? No. Okay. Now, does that do everybody? Is this end closed? Yes, okay. So that's what I wanted to do now. Let's save. If I put a bevel on, what will I get? I like the chamfer like that. I think I'm gonna like it like that. Let's bring everything back. And that's what I basically wanted to do right there. Okay, so that seems like it sort of holds it in. Let's have a look with the shadow on it as well. Okay, and then like I say, underneath I would put some lockers. One thing I should do quickly is this, yeah, and you'll see that I need to just recalculate my polys. Okay. All right, it's coming along little by little. Lockers, lights, pipes, other things. Cool.